Heading back to Singapore. It's not the end, but I suppose it's the start of the end. And I gotta say, I am ready to touch that apple in Milan. So I'm here at the National Stadium. And outside the stadium is like this above ground level that circles the stadium, a bit like Wembley. But it's like a fitness park, so you'll see people like running on the track, cycling. There's an entire dog group walking their dogs, like 20 dogs, adorable things, Labradors. I love a Labrador, and it just seems such a good idea. Like, people are using it, people are running, people are cycling, people are skateboarding. I've not seen them, but I've seen signs. You can see up into the stadium there, and this seems like a very nice area. People are skating as well. I've just seen that. I'll pass in a second. But everyone is so friendly in Singapore. The view of the city is coming up on the left, so I'll keep filming so I can get that. But people are so friendly, because I went in to ask if there was a tour and they said it was shut. Then as I was leaving, one of the ladies called me back and said, oh, if you go to gate 1, you can get a peek inside the stadium. This is gate 1. It seems like on the whole they have shut it up, but yes, you can peek inside the stadium. Just see the city behind me. It's quite a good view, but there we go. That's the stadium. So I was just crossing that bridge from the National Stadium, and I saw this, and it's just a little tower, free of charge. I thought, it seems like there might be a nice view at the top, so let's go and check that out. So I'm up at the top of this tower, and it's got great views of the National Stadium. And if you come over here, pretty good views of the city as well. So this tower is free. It's just on the edge of the bay. Maybe. So I'm walking, and something moves in the bushes, and there's this massive lizard. There's a wildlife crossing sign. I didn't think it was anything like that. It's like a baby crocodile. Jesus. They are getting ready for the Singapore Grand Prix, which is September 22nd, I look. It is August 27th now, so that's nearly a month in advance. They're already pretty ready. Like, you can just see I'm walking along part of the track here that's being used as a road. And you can see that they've already got the fencing up, and the stands are most of the stands are up already. You can just see that Singapore is a city ready for the Grand Prix. Here in the Cloud Forest, walk through the entrance. This in the Sky Street was 34 Singapore dollars, and the Sky Walk was another 17. You know, I always said that I was an angel. Now I've got the halo to prove it. Now I've got a bigger halo to prove it. Here at the Garden Bay in Singapore. And this is a very nice botanical gardens. I'm gonna go do the Sky Tree now, which is this one here. You go to the very top. So I'm heading up to the Sky Tree, and one thing that I've noticed, and this is the end of August, it's August 27th, it's really quiet here. Like, it's not dead, but it's so much quieter than I thought. I thought it would be packed with tourists, and it isn't. And it hasn't been. I don't know why, like Europe's on holiday, no idea. So now I'm heading up to the Sky Tree, and we will have a look at the view here. As you can see, okay, this is definitely worth the money. That is quite a view. I'm glad I did it in daytime. You've got the two domes over there. But as views go, it's not bad. And then as you circle around, I think that's the Pacific Ocean, it might be the Indian Ocean. Pretty sure it's Pacific. But look at all those cargo ships. I think that's the most I've ever seen. It's a lot of cargo. But as you can see, this is what I mean by it's dead. There's only 3 other people here. Like, it's incredible. Especially this time of year. I'm going to do the sky canopy. I'm going to wait till night time to do that. It closes at 8. I'm at the top of the Sky Tree on the Skywalk, as you can see. Night time, so I came up at night, as I said before. And that was a good decision because that's a great view. I think it's a lot better than it is during the daytime with the lights on the trees and the lights in the tower. I would say that it's a lot busier at this time. It wasn't excessive, but if you look down there, look at all the people just lying down, enjoying the lovely temperature, and it is a lovely temperature. It really is. Singapore's impressive. Singapore has really impressed me. Back here in Singapore, I've just finished my last night in a hotel tonight at just before 11. I go to China only for 4 hours, back to Helsinki, and then onwards to finish this journey and touch that big beautiful apple. About to board onto the cable car. Across the harbour and up the mountain. Harbour's that way, mountain's that way. I'm kind of in the middle, so I've got to do both. So I'm on the Skyorb now, and what makes this cable car unique is it's got a glass floor. paid $15 extra for this. Oh my goodness. Ooh, this is not for the people who don't like heights. Oh, I am not standing up here. Ah. Oh. That doesn't feel right. It's the fact you're on a cable car as well. Like, I've been on skywalks before, but it's moving! The floor is moving! Great view though. Both out the front and at the bottom! The floor's moving! The floor is actually moving! This is worth $15. Well, it's 15 Singaporean dollars, so it's more like 12 US dollars, 10 euros. But the floor is moving, people! And it's swaying. The wind is picking up. Sit in the middle just for the centre of balance. It's a boat! So, on Fort Salisa, on Sentosa Island, I gotta say this island is fantastic. Great views, got the cable car over there as you saw, the glass bottom. But yeah, it's a hot day unfortunately because I fly tonight, so it's like a 24-hour journey home. But the fan is out. Tell me you've been to Japan without telling me you've been to Japan. Absolutely gorgeous. It does say that I'm gonna see some wildlife. The cable car said monkeys, there's a sign saying don't feed the animals, and monkeys are on the sign. But the two people I asked to work here said that there's no monkeys, so if you know what's happened to the monkeys on Sentosa Island in Singapore, please let me know again. I mean, as you know, I love a good monkey, but it's devastating if they were here and now they're not. Don't like that at all. But to be fair, Singapore is a very beautiful place. I'm sure there's no foul play. I'm just sure they're not perhaps on another part of the island, or they went somewhere else. Yeah, Sentosa Island, definitely worth a visit. It's, again, so quiet. Like, this is the main touristy part. Singapore, giving a bit of a Laos vibe, and I like it. It's the Laos, very good, very good. So I guess it's like an old World War II fort for the British. Fort Salisa. Command post up the stairs. And here we go. Mind your head. Let's see what. I'm guessing this was used for the Japanese, like British against Japanese. Here we go. Yeah. The battle commander there. Singapore Heartland. That's British accent, so I'm guessing that my hypothesis is correct. That introduced by the British against the Japanese. Battery, Singapore Harbour. So this would have been used for the Eastern Front, and there we have some more command battalions. I guess that's what you go down for. So let's go down. Does anyone know if the Japanese actually took Singapore? Like, obviously there was a point where the Japanese were doing very well against the British. I don't know if they ever took Singapore. I guess that they did. Here we have. Again, up ahead, do not feed the animals, and you can clearly see, I believe, that is a monkey. So I wonder what happened to the monkeys. They have been told consistently they are not here. I've been told lizards are, peacocks are. But the monkeys, even the internet says the monkeys are here. So I don't know what's happened to them, or if I'm being lied to protect as tourists go and look for them and disturb them. In which case, good for you, Singapore, good for you. If that is the case, but yeah. If you know what's happened to the monkeys on Sinostra Island again, please tell me. And if you know why it's so quiet here, please tell me. Here at Chinatown, and I'd say this is quite impressive. This is the side of Singapore that perhaps most people don't visit when they come here. But look at that one. Got all these little shops here, and then you got the Buddhist temple. I think that this is again a sign that I need to visit China next year, because that is absolutely beautiful. Just took a photo. See this camera might be small, but my God, it's good. You got all the little details on the walls. You got the city skyline there, but again, Singapore winning big. I mean, the message here is visit Singapore. Here on the sky deck in Singapore, and the views are impressive. We've got the city that way, and then up ahead we've got the National Stadium and the Ferris wheel, and of course the F1 track, which is just over here. I'll turn the camera around so there's a good view of it. There we go. And then right underneath us, and it is literally right underneath us, is the garden bay with all of the flowers and everything. And it looks very different from up here. I don't know, like the tower thing is like well, not tower things, those things look so different when you're looking down on them, because they look so much flatter than on the other way. But it's a great view of the F1 track. Just there.
얘는 그 엘리베이터 다른 거 타는 거예요.
Hey, I've just got down from the Sky Park up there. That's where we were. And we're about to have a significant moment on this trip, because for the last time I'm going to put this camera in my bag. And when I do that, it will not come out again until I am back home in Milan. I've uploaded my photos. That is staying in that bag until we complete this journey around the world. Because now I'm gonna go get some dinner, have some drinks, pick up some drinks and then have some dinner. And then head to Changi Airport, where I will catch a flight to Shanghai. At which point I have 4 hours to catch my connecting flight to Helsinki, and then have 3 hours to get through the border in the EU, which is the EU, so it's fine, to then check in again for my flight to Milan, Bergamo. From Bergamo, catch the bus, and if all goes well, Milan local time tomorrow, 8-9 p.m. This hand is going to touch that magic apple, and I will have circumnavigated the globe in 64 days, going west.
Around Nassau town we did roll, drinking all night, got into a fight, I wanna go home, hoist up the jumbie sails, see how the mainsail set, call for the captain ashore, let me go home, let me go home, I want to go, I wanna go home, why don't you let me go home, well I wanna go home, I want to go home. First mate he got drunk, broke up the people strong, constable had to come and take him away, Sheriff Johnston, why don't you leave me alone, why don't you leave me alone, well I feel so break up, I wanna go home, I want to go home, so now I stop the jumbie sails, see how the mainsail set, call for the captain ashore, let me go home, I want to go home, I wanna go home, why don't you let me go home, well I feel so break up, I wanna go home, I want to go home, well the poor cook he caught me fits, then he took and he ate up all of my corn, let me go home, I wanna go home, why don't you let me go home, this is the worst trip since I have been born, I stop the jumbie sail, see how the mainsail, call for the captain ashore, let me go home, let me go home, let me go home.
I wanna go home.
I wanna go home.
Why don't you let me go home?
Well, I feel so break up.
So all trip, I've been worried about this flight home because I know China can be quite awkward and I'm a visa-free transit passenger. However, I just faced a problem that I cannot believe I nearly faced. They nearly denied me boarding. Not because they were like, oh no, China won't let you transit through it. They didn't believe Finland would let me in. They were like, where's your visa? And I'm like, a British passport doesn't need a visa to enter Finland. No, where's your visa? So then I thought, well, let's make this simple, and pulled out my Italian documents. Oh my God, did that throw them? They were like, well, what's this got to do with Finland? It's part of the Schengen. They didn't know what the Schengen was. And they're like, but you might not be allowed into Finland. Finland! Finland! They were saying Finland was the problem. It's the last day of a long trip. I'm hungry. Lots of Chinese restaurants here. No. God, no. Not a Chinese restaurant on the last day. The gentleman is back from check-in, taking a photo of my passport and now running it through. He genuinely thinks Finland won't let me in. Well, let me open up my passport. I shall pull out the British passport trick for anyone who has a British passport. His Britannic Majesty's Secretary of State requests and requires, in the name of His Majesty, all those whom it may concern to allow the bearer, that is me, to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to afford the bearer such assistance and protection as may be necessary. Let me on the flight be a little.
We come on the sloop, my grandfather and me. Around Nassau town we did roll, drinking all night.
I might not be home, but I'm in the EU, one step away from the land. I love the EU. 64 days ago, I walked in that direction, west. To start my journey around the world. And it started there. 63 days ago, I was 6,000 kilometers away from home. I had no clothes, no passport, and the journey seemed dead. But here I am, 64 days later, over 50,000 kilometers traveled, 2 flight cancellations, an earthquake, 2 passports, and I can officially say I just traveled around the world, going west. One debt paid to Father Time. I just circumnavigated the globe. It wasn't easy the whole time, but good things aren't always that easy. Climbed Mount Fuji, swam with turtles, had an earthquake, went into Laos, Cambodia, 15 countries on this trip around the world. Let's get a photo.